From the Presidential Palace, Manila, Dateline Malacañang.
Good day. This is Dateline Malacañang. Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. is in Bulacan Province on Monday morning to spearhead the launch of the Department of Education or DepEd's program, Brigada Eskwela 2025, that aims to get public schools ready for the upcoming school year. The President will visit two schools in the province. He will first visit Tibagan Elementary School in the municipality of San Miguel. President Marcos will also visit the Barihan Elementary School in Malolos City, where he will be joined by DepEd Secretary Sani Angana. The Chief Executive will also be accompanied by Presidential Communications Office or PCO Secretary J. Ruiz, Department of Information and Communications Technology or DICT Secretary Roel Aguda, as well as provincial and local officials of Bulacan Province. Brigada Eskwela is an annual maintenance activity that will prepare the schools for the opening of classes. According to DepEd Memorandum Order No. 42, Series of 2025, the Brigada Eskwela will span from the 9th to the 13th of June ahead of the opening of the academic year on June 16th. Earlier, the education chief said over 800 schools nationwide will implement the pilot run of the revised Senior High School or SHS curriculum to ensure the employability of grade 12 students. Under the said reform, core subjects were reduced to 5 from 15 per semester. These include effective communication, life and career skills, general mathematics, general science, and pag-aaral ng kasaysayan at lipunang Pilipino or in English, study of Philippine history and society. The SHS strands, likewise, will be replaced with clusters of electives to grant learners the flexibility to choose from 4 curricular exits, including higher education, employment, entrepreneurship, or middle-level skills development. Angara said SHS learners in pilot schools will have the discretion of choosing electives fit for their post-SHS plans.
Dateline Malacañang.
Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. on Sunday said the long-awaited rehabilitation of the 23.8-kilometer Epifanio de los Santos Avenue or EDSA will not push through unless comprehensive rerouting plans are in place and local government units or LGUs are fully prepared to handle the expected disruptions. In his latest vlog, the President said that until he sees solid rerouting plans and LGUs are fully ready, then the assured the public that further enhancements are on the way. President Marcos Jr. also commended recent developments at Ninoy Aquino International Airport or NAIA Terminal 3 in Pasay City, noting it as part of the broader goal of modernizing the country's major gateways.
Isa sa pinagtuunan din natin ng pansin nitong mga nakarang linggo ay ang transportasyon. Inanunsyo ko ang pansamantalang paghihinto muna ng EDSA Rebuilding Program. Ang sabi ko nga ay masyadong matagal naman yung 2 taon para maabala ang mga kababayan natin. At hanggat wala akong nakikitang solid na mga rerouting plans at masiguro na handang-handa na mga LGU, huwag muna natin gawin. Ayusin muna natin ang plano. Nag-inspect din tayo ng MRT at nalunsad natin ang programang 1+3. Kung mapapansin nyo sa mga MRT station natin, bumilis na ang andar ng pila. Minsan nga ay wala ng pila. Yan ang patuloy natin tinatrabaho kasama si
Dateline Malacañang.
Meanwhile, Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. on Sunday reported positive feedback on the administration's Cops on the Beat program, which increases police visibility in communities. In his latest vlog, the president said feedback has been good and people say it really helps them feel secure. President Marcos announced that a national emergency hotline is being developed, which could be launched as early as July. Despite growing doubts over the sustainability of the administration's 20 pesos per kilo rice, President Marcos stood firm, saying it can be achieved through cooperation and government support. The chief executive said many still doubt how the administration can sustain the 20 pesos per kilogram of rice, adding that this can be done as long as everyone works together. President Marcos cited ongoing efforts to support farmers, including the distribution of agricultural machinery and irrigation equipment.
Security and safety sa ating mga lansangan. Sinimulan natin ang pagdideploy ng mas maraming pulis o yung tinatawag nating Cops on the Beat. Naging maganda naman ang feedback nito. Sabi ng mga tao ay malaki talaga ang natutulong pagka sila ay maging panatag. Ginagawa na rin itong emergency hotline natin at sigurado ako in just a few weeks, baka sa Hulyo pwede na, ay ma-launch na namin ito. Ang bagong PMP chief naman natin ay 3 minutes ang police response ang isinusulong sa kanyang mga hanay. Nung isang araw ay nag-inspect tayo ng isang warehouse ng NFA sa Bulacan. Marami pa rin ang nagdududa kung paano masusustain o patatagalin itong 20 peso rice na ito. May stock pa ba tayo na bigas? Kaya ba ito na bayaran ng ating gobyerno? Masusustain po natin yan basta't nagtutulungan ang lahat. Ang sisiguruhin natin ay hindi mawawala ng abot-kayang bigas ang ating mga kababayan. Dumalaw din tayo sa isang farm dyan sa Bulacan kung nasan ang pinakamalaking greenhouse facility sa buong bansa. Ang agricultural innovation na ganito ay dapat talagang inaaral at sinusuportahan ng pamahalaan. ang pinag-uusapan natin dito ay hindi lamang ang food security o yung food supply, kung hindi pati na ang nutritional value na binibigay natin sa taong bayan. Hindi lang tuyo ang kinakain nila, may gulay, may prutas, lahat yan. Kaya mga facility na ganito, yan ang magpo-provide sa atin ng mga fresh na gulay, fresh fruits, etc. Patuloy pa rin ang pamimigay natin ng mga makinarya sa National Irrigation Authority. Ito nga yung pangatlong tranche natin, refleeting program ang tawag. Mahalaga sa agriculture ang patubig at itong mga makinaryang ito ay sisiguruhin ang irigasyon natin na laging well-maintained. Maganda ang daloy ng tubig. Ang major canals at irrigation infrastructure ay laging maayos.
You just heard Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Dateline Malacañang.
Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. over the weekend reaffirmed the Philippines and China's enduring friendship and recognized the two nations' shared history as he led the ceremonial lighting of the iconic Jones Bridge in Manila. During the ceremony, the President said, the project commemorates 50 years of diplomatic relations between the Philippines and the People's Republic of China. President Marcos said Jones Bridge played a significant role in the two countries' bilateral relations, stressing that it serves as a landmark that has endured wars, floods, and a long history. The chief executive said the event is part of the Chinatown Revitalization Project, restoring Binondo District and reaffirming its significance to Filipino and Chinese communities' shared heritage. Escolta Street was Manila's premier shopping district and commercial center created in 1594. The president said the new lights and sounds attraction at the Jones Bridge is just part of his administration's bigger push to bring life back into historic districts. Chinese Ambassador Wang Zilian said the Philippines and China should seek cooperation instead of confrontation and conflict. The symbolic lighting of Jones Bridge was sponsored by the Federation of Filipino-Chinese Chambers of Commerce and Industry Incorporated, or FFCCCII. The Philippines and China established formal diplomatic relations on June 9, 1975. The event celebrated not just the two countries' friendship, but also the cultural and economic significance of Binondo, renowned as the world's oldest Chinatown and standing as a testament to the shared heritage and deep-rooted ties between the Philippines and Chinese communities. President Marcos Jr. thanked the FFCCCII and the Binondo community for keeping the place alive and vibrant and an important part of our continuing cultural evolution.
We proudly light up the iconic Jones Bridge in all its renewed glory and breathe new life into it. This is what the Chinatown Revitalization Project is all about. It's about restoring Binondo, reaffirming its cultural and historical place and significance to our shared heritage. We will transform Binondo into a place that we can always return to. From the old Manileños to the first-time visitors, lahat, welcome dito. This project commemorates 50 years of diplomatic relations between the Philippines and the People's Republic of China. Half a century of friendship and shared history, all reflected here in the world's oldest Chinatown. So I thank the vibrant community of Binondo, from the families, the merchants, the students, the elders, all of those who have kept this place alive and vibrant and an important part of our continuing cultural evolution. You have done much more for our heritage, more than you can ever know. Maraming salamat po. Let us finish Phase 2 as we transform Ongpin and Escolta into cultural and economic hubs We will bring back the golden years so that we can relive them. In times like this, when everything can feel loud and fast and confusing, I believe what we need is right here. A place as simple as a bridge or a street that tells us to pause and to reflect on who we are and what we share as a nation.
You just heard Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Dateline Malacañang.
Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. has ordered the immediate destruction of the nearly 4 billion pesos worth of methamphetamine hydrochloride or Shabu found by fishers off the shores of Pangasinan Province on June 5 and 6. In a statement on Sunday, Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency or PDEA Director General Isagani Neres said the President ordered the immediate destruction of the recovered illegal drugs before they can cause harm to the Filipino people. The 588 vacuum-sealed transparent plastic packs of Shabu, weighing at least 587.8 kilograms and worth 3.997 billion pesos, were found by 29 fisher folk from the coastal communities of Dakap Sur, Bani, Boboy Agno, and Luciente 1, Balingasay and Poblacion, all in Bolinao, Pangasinan. Neres said they are the true heroes. He said the fishers surrendered the Shabu to joint operatives of PDEA, Philippine Coast Guard or PCG, Philippine National Police or PNP, Philippine Navy, and the National Bureau of Investigation or NBI. The Director General said the PDEA continues to forge partnerships with local communities, maritime stakeholders, and other government and law enforcement agencies to prevent the country's seas from being used as dropping and transshipment points of dangerous drugs. Neres cited the support of the PCG under Commandant Admiral Ronnie Gil Gavan, PNP under General Nicolas Torre III, Philippine Navy under Vice Admiral Jose Maria Ambrosio Espeleta, and NBI under Director Jaime Santiago, to include the assistance from local government units or LGUs of Agno, Bani, and Bolinao in Pangasinan. He said continuous retrieval operations by the PCG and Philippine Navy are happening on the surrounding seas of Pangasinan with the help of the local government units and local fisherfolk. On May 29th, some 1.5 billion pesos worth of floating Shabu were also found by 10 Bataan fishers off the waters of Masinloc, Zambales, and surrendered to authorities.
Dateline Malacañang.
The Philippines National Security Council or NSC hailed the Japanese National Diet's ratification of the Reciprocal Access Agreement or RAA, calling it a defining moment in Philippine-Japan defense relations. The RAA, approved by Japan's Diet on Friday, allows joint military operations, training, and humanitarian missions between the Philippines and Japanese forces. In a statement over the weekend, National Security Advisor Secretary Eduardo Año said, "This is a defining moment in Philippine-Japan defense relations, timely, strategic, and grounded in shared interests." Año said the agreement gives both nations the tools to act together, credibly and effectively, at a time when the security environment in the Indo-Pacific is becoming more volatile. He said the agreement provides a clear framework for cooperation and sends an unmistakable message. the Philippines and Japan are prepared to stand together to uphold international law and a rules-based regional order. The agreement was signed in Tokyo in 2023, ratified by President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. on November 5, 2024, and ratified by the Philippine Senate on December 16th. Anyo thanked the Japanese government for its resolve and foresight and reaffirmed the Philippines' commitment to implement the agreement and work with Japan to advance regional peace, security, and resilience.
Dateline Malacañang.
In other news, the Philippines Department of Migrant Workers, or DMW, over the weekend strengthened partnership with 15 other government agencies to ensure a more responsive reintegration efforts for overseas Filipino workers, or OFWs. A new National Reintegration Network, or NRN, for OFWs was formed following the signing of a Joint Memorandum Circular, or JMC, during the 30th anniversary celebration of the Migrant Workers' Day at the Occupational Safety and Health Center compound in Quezon City. JMC signatories include DMW Secretary Hans Leo Magpayo, Trade Secretary Maria Cristina Roque, Department of Labor and Employment, or DOLE Officer in Charge, Under Secretary Benjo Benavides, and Overseas Workers Welfare Administration, or OWA Administrator Patricia Yvonne Kaunan. Other partner agencies are the Department of Social Welfare and Development, Department of Agriculture, Department of Science and Technology, Department of Tourism, Technical Education and Skills Development Authority, Social Security System, PhilHealth, Pag-ibig Fund, Small Business Corporation, Overseas Filipino Bank, National Cooperative Marketing Federation, and PhilPharma. The NRN will be co-chaired by the DMW and DOLE, with OWA as vice chair. Its establishment is based on the implementing rules and regulations of Republic Act, or RA 11641, or the DMW Act, which aims to strengthen societal stakeholders' coordination in the delivery of reintegration services, including, but not limited to, livelihood, microenterprise, and employment assistance and referrals to returning OFWs. Kakdak said the JMC is pursuant to President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.'s directive for a stronger interagency collaboration to ensure quick and efficient delivery of reintegration services for OFWs. Partner agencies will provide livelihood, employment facilitation, OFW help desk, health service, assistance to individuals in crisis situation, capacity building, training and upskilling, and availability of 20 pesos per kilo of rice and cheaper medicines. With the establishment of the NRN, Kakdak hopes for a possible 200% increase in the DMW and OWA's Reintegration Fund.
Dateline Malacañang.
And finally, for our foreign exchange rates, according to the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, or BSP, as of Thursday, June 5th, the United States dollar stands at 55 pesos and 79 centavos. The Japanese yen at 39 centavos, Singaporean dollar at 43 pesos and 37 centavos, South Korean won at 4 centavos, and a Chinese yuan is at 7 pesos and 77 centavos. In other foreign currencies, the Hong Kong dollar is at 7 pesos and 11 centavos. The British pound is at 75 pesos and 63 centavos. 1 euro is equivalent to 63 pesos and 70 centavos, 40 pesos and 81 centavos for the Canadian dollar, while the Saudi Arabian rial has a value of 14 pesos and 88 centavos.
Dateline Malacañang.
And that concludes this edition of Dateline Malacañang. For Radyo Pilipinas World Service, this is Leo Magpayo. Good day and stay safe.
From the Presidential Palace, Manila, Dateline Malacañang.